its red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say.
Although few expected war in Europe in the summer of 1914, conditions were ripe for an explosion of violence. The growth of aggressive nationalisms set various countries against each other and threatened the stability of multinational states like the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Competition over colonial possessions and conflicts over spheres of influence in places like the Balkans further complicated relations between the great European powers. And this is exactly what happened when Archduke Ferdinand, who's next in line to be the Emperor of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, visited Sarajevo. Great number of Americans had emotional ties to the warring powers. In 1914, over 1/3 of the American population were first or second generation immigrants. And believe it or not, most of these Americans came from Germany, not Great Britain. So many Americans were ready to support Germany and the Central Powers. President Woodrow Wilson deeply admired the British and their political system. He distrusted German militarism. Despite this, he officially proclaimed American neutrality on August 4th, 1914. Whatever their individual sympathies, Americans across the country overwhelmingly wanted to stay out of the European war. Americans also wanted to maintain their trade relationships with both warring parties.
By 1916, almost all trade between the United States and the Central Powers had ceased. Trade with the Allies had gone up 400%. When the Allies ran out of cash in 1915, the Wilson administration allowed Wall Street banks to lend the Allies the money they needed to continue purchasing American products. This meant that many in the United States were literally banking upon an Allied victory. Beginning in late 1914, the National Security League launched a propaganda campaign to convince Americans that war was necessary. By 1915, Congress began to take steps to strengthen the Army and Navy. What decisively turned the American people against the Central Powers was German submarine warfare. Given that Allied warships dominated the surface of the sea, the only way that the Germans could strike at ships carrying supplies to Britain and France was with undersea or U-boats. Initially, U-boats followed international law and warned ships before sinking them. Then the Allies armed their merchant ships with guns that could sink the unarmored submarines. From that point on, U-boats torpedoed ships without warning. This inevitably led to loss of life among the crew and passengers. Unsympathetic to the difficulties facing submariners, Americans found this form of warfare barbarous. American opposition to the German submarine campaign came to a head with the sinking of the Lusitania on May 7, 1915.
Torpedo closing on the starboard bow!
Where? Oh my God. God.
34, 35, 36.
Hard to starboard! Hard to starboard!
My God is going to hit us.